Starting first with the notation, we know absolute value is EY equal absolute value with a little 2 bar. And then the graph, the shape, going to look like a victory V. But what is the meaning of absolute value? Absolute values are the distance between the number. So let's talk about the example. We want to find out absolute values of x minus 2. You want to find the distance between two numbers, so you subtract. So x minus 2 and the absolute value of that. And then they said equal 3. Again, absolute value meaning the distance. So in other words, if you on a number line, you want to find the distance between x and the distance between, this is going to be the first number, that is x, we don't know. And then another number would be 2. So you find the distance between those two numbers. So on a number lines, I'm looking at 2. They said the distance between x and 2 are 3. So let's go ahead and move 3 space. 1, 2, 3. So that's it. You can see the 5 is 3 units away from 2. But distance doesn't have to be all the way going to the positive side. What happens if we are looking at the negative side? So from 3, if I'm going to, from 2, if I'm going 3 units to the left, 1, 2, and 3. Negative 1 also have 3 units away from 2. So the meaning of absolute value is the distance between two numbers. It could be you could have a negative answer, you could have a positive answer, but you are going to have two answers. And that's how the graph going to look. If I'm going to graph this equation right here on decimal, what I'm going to show you in a little bit, but right now I'm just going to tell you a little secret. Again, like we always do when I move everything into one side. And when you move your house, you change your address. So absolute values of x minus 2 minus 3 equal, nothing's gone right here, it's 0, we change 0 to y. But let's not just go too far in depth about that. Let's look at the pictures, and I promise we'll show you how to graph them later on with decimal. So to take a look again, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 0 and negative 1. As you can see on the graph, you will notice away from 2 is right here, that is 2 number, negative 1, that's the first solution. And then 5, that's another solution. And they all have 3 units away. 1, 2, 3. 3 units away from 2. So that's it, the meaning of absolute value. It's just the distance between two numbers. Because distance can never be positive. No matter how close you are to a certain person, you always have a certain distance away from that person, right? So for that reason, you will have a positive 3 as an answer in here. But x could be negative 1, x could be 5, okay? So let's put that in here, and you can see 5 minus 2 equal 3. Absolute value of 3, and it's also equal 3. Now, what about negative 1 minus 2? It's going to give me absolute values of negative 3. But it still also give me 3 because, again, that's the meaning of distance. I want to put this in a calculator to show you what exactly it means. If I want to put this in decimal, just so you can see the meaning of it. So I'm going to go to decimal. Decimal is so cool, even though it's just a graphing calculator. Like even if you go to the graphing calculator, you still can calculate them as well. So I'm gonna clear this real quick just so everybody can see. So I'm gonna put absolute value of 3, and then boom, they calculate for me. I'm gonna put absolute value of negative 3, because again, we just see that the number is the negative 3, right? But it still also give me 3. So I hope you understand. I hope it makes sense to you. The distance can never be negative. And so that's the meaning of absolute value, okay? So let's do one more example. We would like to try with this one. Absolute value at the distance between number, remember that? So let's talk about absolute value of x only equal 1. What does that mean? So what I'm comparing with, if you don't see a number right here, that means you are comparing x to minus what? What could it be? Like it's just x. That means x minus 0, right? Because the distance away from here. So here we go. So in here, we are going to have absolute value of x minus 0. That's the number we are comparing it. And they set the distance equal 1. So let's take a look. So this going to be on the number line. They said the distance between x and 0 could be any number, e1. So I'm going to go 1 unit to the right. That is 1 at my answer. And I also go 1 unit to the left because the distance, right? The distance in here equal 1. I'm talking about distance. I'm not talking about the number value. So do we have 1? And also if I'm going to the left, my bad, this is to the right, and then I'm going to go to the left. They also have 1 unit apart, right? 1 unit apart and 1 unit apart on both sides. There you go. So for that reason right here, your answer will be, you will have two solutions, x equal 1 and x equal -1. Why? Because they both 1 unit away from 0. If I'm going to grab them, again, I'm going to move the number to the side. And we're going to go in depth with this, so don't worry. When you move the side chains, you grab them, it's going to give you that. And then again, at the same time, you have your solutions is 1, your other solutions is -1. Because they are both 1 unit away from 0. If you look at that, okay? They're both 1 unit away. All right, so that's the meaning of absolute value. So how about let's try some word problem. How can we set it up, this word problem right here? So let's read this question together. Let's pause it right here. You go ahead and read it real quick and find out the keyword. Okay, 2 minutes later, we find out the keywords is that a soccer ball inflated to 13 psi. What does that mean? I have no idea. Pound per square inch. Okay, there you go. Okay, so they are inflated to this, right? Before the game, the referee checks the 3 game balls. So they're gonna check some ball. And if the game ball are inflated 1 piece SI, ooh, the keyword more or less, look. So I can go 1 more or I can go 1 less of the design weight. What is the design weight in here that they want? What is the design weight? We already see 13, right? So here we go. Then they are approved to use in the game. So with absolute value equation best represent the least and the most. The least and the most, guys. The least and the most. Okay, so let's talk about it. I like to put a number line. I think it's easier for me to always think about it at a distance. So I know the soccer ball are inflated to 13 psi, right? So this is 13. They said if the game ball are inflated 1 more or less. Okay, so let's go. If I go 1 more on a number line, get what number gonna be. So this is a number line, so I'm gonna go 1 more. So here we go. Let's finish the number line real quick. 13, that's a special number here. So I have 12, 11, and then I have 14, 15. All right, if I go 1 more to the number line, so I'm gonna go over here. Bam, that's going to be one of them. 1 more, right? Then this will be okay. If I go 1 less, they said it should be approved, so I'm gonna go 1 less. What number is that? That's going to be 12. But how can I set it up the equation? And you can see when you think about that 1 more or less, this is the distance, right? Because this is 1 unit more or less, and this is 1 unit more. Right? This is 1 unit more, this is 1 unit less. So the distance between the number we don't know yet. That's it, just x. You always going to subtract or you find the distance between the two numbers. So what is the number that we are looking for right here? Our main number is minus 13, yes. And it's going to be equal to that distance that they said, least or most. So that's going to be equal 1. That's it. And if you put it in, you will have 12 and you will have 14 as an answer. But right now, we're not looking for an answer. We're just looking for a set it up an equation. So giving you your answer going to be B, okay? Just like that. So I really hope that makes sense to you. I'm gonna try a few more, just make sure that you're comfortable with that. I would love if you pause it right here and do it yourself first. And then after that, you try the answer with me, okay? All right, let's assume that you already did that. So you have money in your wallet, but you don't know exact amount. Okay, when a friend asks you, you say you have $20. Ooh, more or less 5. That means I could have $20 more. I could have, more, my bad. That means I could have $5 more than that 20, or I could have $5 less than that 20. Again, on a number lines, again, we are going 5 more or less. So I'm gonna go 5 units more. So what's gonna be number? It's gonna be 5 units more or $5 more. That's going to give me 25. And I could have $5 less. I don't know. I don't know exactly how much money I have, but I would just like approximate. So that's gonna be 5 less. That's the distance, right? The distance is never negative. So here we go. So that's going to be $15. But again, they're not asking you to solve. If they ask you to solve, boom, this is your answer. But they want you to write an absolute value equation to model this situation. So again, my unknown money, I don't know. You don't know, right? You don't know. That's your variable, right? You don't know. So that's just going to be X. With one that you say you have $20, so that the number we are talking about right here. So I have around $20. I don't know. So I'm just gonna have again subtracting that 20, and then it's gonna give you a distance. They said, hey, what is the distance between the real money you have and 20? You said 5 more or less. So that's E5, and that's it. Bingo. Okay. Again, we are not solving right now. We are just set it up. So that's the question number 2. Okay, how about we're gonna try the last one? Same deal, pause, do it yourself first and check the answer with me. Right here, I'm going to have the average seed. I can't really say this word. Okay, but anyway, cucumber, okay, seed is 25. The number of seed in the packet can vary by 3. Okay, so I have 25 cucumber seed, 25, right? So it's on the number lines. I know 25 is what I'm talking about. It can vary by 3. So that means I can have 3 more or I can have 3 less. Okay, it can vary, right? You know, it vary mean change. Varies mean change. I don't know exact number. I don't know for sure. I can't bet money on it, but I know that I have 5 more or my bet 3 more or 3 less. So if I go 3 more, then I will have 28. 3 more. But I could also go, there could be a chance that I have 3 less. But the distance away from those number is 3. So more or less. So that could be 22. Again, they're not asking for the answer. They just ask you to set it up. So I'm gonna set it up absolute value. I'm going to put, again, I don't know the exact, I do not know. I do not know yet, so it's just gonna be X away, the distance away from that number, so minus 25. And it's gonna give me the distance is how many unit distance? That's E3, right? I have 3 less, I have 3 more, so that's E my distance. Again, if you would like to check your, you will see, if you plug them in, you will find it. But again, at all the time, we are not asking for the answer right here. We just ask for that and giving you the answer. Okay. So I really hope absolute value meaning, like, do you understand the meaning of that? We're going to go into the solving of it. The solving of it right here is go into part 3. Okay, so here are a couple of steps. I already kind of showed you how to solve it earlier already by moving to the other side. And we did the same thing with quadratic. So this works exactly the same way. So how can we do that? So step 1, we're gonna move everything to the absolute value sign. As you can see right here, if this is my equation, the most specialties in here is the absolute value. So by all means, common sensely, we're gonna move everything to the absolute value sign. So right now, I'm gonna go ahead and do it by follow step 1. Move everything to absolute value sign. That means I'm gonna move this over. Hey, when you move your house, do you change your address or no? You're gonna get a new address, right? So when moving, the sign change. What does that mean? This guy doesn't move, so it stays exactly the same. The side doesn't change, everything stays the same. But this guy moved, so they will become a negative. Everything else stays the same, right? So here we'll equal. But number 1 is gone. There is no number left. So in here, we're gonna put it to 0. And if you want to leave it at 0, you're going to see 2 straight lines. So we talk about this when we do quadratic, that we have to change 0 to y. Okay, so here we go. We want to change 0 to y. So make sure, I think I should add there here. You have to change 0 to y. And we will explain when we grab them. Okay, so now the equation will look like this. Minus 1 equal y. You have an option to grab this whole equation, Or you can just grab this. You should be okay. I just like to grab the y in it too as well, just so I can remember. But you have your own preference. Okay, so here we go. So let's give it a try. We're gonna see how the answer is going to be. Again, so absolute value, to get that, you have to activate your keypad. If you have not done that, it's right here on absolute value. You put x minus 3. You're going to make sure you get out of that. You put minus 1, and then boom, equal y. The solution. Okay, let's talk about the solution. The solution is where the graph crossed the x-axis. How many times the graph crossed the x-axis in this case? So here we go. We have 2 times, right? So you're going to look at the first one, click on it. Oh, 2, 0. Oh, another one, 4, 0. And that explains to you why we change 0 to y. Because if you see, if I look at x and y, right? The y values on both example, e equals 0, y equals 0, y equals 0. That's the reason why we change 0 to y. But right now we don't care about y. We only care about x as the solution. So x equals 2 and x equals 4 is your answer. Just like that. Okay, so here we go. Let's check. Do we have that? X equals 2, x equals 4. Okay, so given it as answer choice A will be our answer. Wonderful. Okay. All right, so I really hope this makes sense to you. At all time, I'm gonna go ahead and try a few more. So I'm gonna try number 2. Okay, so here you go. I think I'm just gonna make it a little bit smaller just so we can see decimal on the same side. Okay, so this looks better. So what are the values that make the equation true? Okay. I also would like for us to take this note. If we haven't done so, but we did not. So let's go ahead and take this. Let's talk about absolute value and the solution. Let's take a little note right here, okay? So this, as you can see, the y-axis, and this is the x-axis. The solutions is when that V shape crossed the x-axis. So right now, the V shape crossed twice. So I will have 2 solutions. I need you to write that down if you haven't done so in your note, okay? And then we also have something look like this. Sometimes it like this, or it could be anything. It could be this, or it could be just like this. Whatever, okay? It could be any, but it's all about how many times do they cross the x-axis? One time, so they have 1 solution. Okay? And sometimes they just doesn't cross at all. Sometimes they just doesn't cross at all. So here we go. I'm gonna make it a little bit longer so I can have the room. So I can have something like this. Like this. So they doesn't cross the x-axis at all. So that could be 0 solution, okay? And when you graph them, you will be able to see it. Okay, so here we go. So we're gonna try the next equation right here, is this one. We're gonna make sure everything in one sign. So again, we're gonna move to the absolute value sign. So I'm gonna move the -4. This guy doesn't move, so stay exactly the way they are. And then you're gonna move the -4 over. So 4 become -4, my bad. So here you go, it's gonna be equal 0, and we change 0 to y. Now here you have an option to simplify this if you want. I really don't, because sometimes I could make a mistake, simplify them, and plus I'm gonna grab them anyway. It doesn't make any difference, so I'm just gonna grab them like that. But if you wanna simplify -2 minus 4, well, we already know that's a -6, you are more than welcome to do that. So I'm gonna get out, and then I have -2, and then I have -4 equal y. And I see this picture, again, how many times do they cross the x-axis? Let's double check, 1 and 2. So they have 2 solutions, 0.5 and 2, okay? So that's my first solution, x equal 0.5. My second solution is x equal 2, given me as the answer. Here we go. somehow the picture doesn't show up, which is so weird. I'm not sure what happened, but we know the answers is 0.5 and 2. So I'm just gonna put here x equal 0.5 at 1 over 2 or x equal 2. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that as an answer. I'm not sure why it disappeared. Okay, finally, save the best for last. We have the last picture to do. So I have this picture like this. Ooh, it looked more complicated, but really when you grab them with decimal, everything is a piece of cake. You just have to remember, step 1, we move everything to the absolute value sign. This is our specialty. Everybody follow the leader. Let's go. Okay, so I'm gonna move 7 absolute value, leave it like that. Everything stay the same on this side. Make sure you do not change 4, it's not moving. The only thing moving is this 2x and 5. So that's gonna be minus 2x. And then also minus 5. And then boom, it's gonna leave me at equal. Hey, everything's gone. What number? Number 0. Everybody moving, and we change 0 to y. Yes, I'm gonna change 0 to y. Here we go. And I'm gonna grab them. Okay, so let's grab them. Let's see what happened. Absolute value of 7 minus x. When I get out of this one, we put plus 4. Then no need to simplify because you are graphing anyway. The only thing you just have to remember is to just make sure you put change 0 to y. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, look, that's what I'm talking to you about, right? The V's is open super wide like this. But all it cares is how many times they cross the x-axis. As you can see right here, cross it 1 time, and we already have x equal 2 at an answer. Wonderful. And that is it. Okay. Really hope this makes sense to you. Pause and watch it over and over. And at all time, please ask me for help, and I will be there for you. Thank you. Thank you.